Hi, this is a review of my Mikaasa aerolite boots. I've had these boots for a few months now, and this is my review after some light usage. Rear view, again side, then the sole. The sole has Mikaasa branding. These boots come with side zip, which is always a good feature if they work properly. This is the color green. Now, some of you who would already have used Magnum boots would be aware that this is a replica of Magnum Raptor boots. In fact, I've got the exact same Magnum boot in color green. The color shade is different, and there are some minor differences in that boot, but I've got the same boot, that is Magnum Raptor, in the same color also. And so these are exactly the same, or they are a very close replica, not exactly the same, but they are a very close replica of those boots. Again, the name is Mikaasa, as the branding can be seen here. Mikaasa with the rifle made here in yellow, and name is aerolite. There is no name mentioned on the boot as such. Probably they wanted to call it aerolite because these are light boots. I have found that when I'm wearing these boots, the boots have a very flattish sole, and so there is very little heel to toe drop. That is very little, so it's a very flat sole and very comfortable. Unless of course you're walking very long distances or running long distances, then probably these will become tiresome because the sole is almost very flat, and the cushioning is also, it's there, but it's very negligible. It's not very heavily cushioned, unlike other boots. Coming on to the sole of the boot has a normal single piece rubber sole. There is no EVA which is visible. However, I'm sure that on the inside there is a insert of EVA which gives it some amount of comfort. Up front, the rubber outsole comes slightly up onto the toes to prevent abrasion on the toes. This is a good design feature, especially when you put your boot down on the ground this way. The soles are flexible. This is one thing I really like about this boot, that the soles are flexible. However, as you can see, where the sole is flexing, these white lines have started showing. I just hope that it doesn't cut. It doesn't feel very thin right now from here, but these white lines are showing. So that is one thing. On the inside, the quality of insole that they have provided is very, very poor. They should have gone with a slightly better insole. I'll just take it out. This is the insole that they have provided, or which comes with the boot. Somehow it's an orange color, and this is just a very, very simple piece of foam that has been covered with cloth on two sides, synthetic cloth, and foam inside. These aren't very comfortable. I think ideally they should have given a EVA insert on the inside. Also, the problem with this is you can already see that there's a bend coming here. So every time I put my feet inside, this crumples. And again, I have to pull my feet out and then straighten this and again put my feet inside. So because of the crumpling, there is this bend which has already come here, and I can always feel it underneath my feet when I'm wearing the boot. So the quality of the insole, they could have done much better. Underneath is just the outsole, nothing else. Now for the price of this boot, they are charging close to about 5,000 rupees. These insoles are very poor. and the size 10 is just written on the inside. Again, it looks like these were manufactured in a very small factory and on the go. Manufacturing in a small factory is not a problem, but having certain amount of attention to detail, especially when you're charging 5,000 rupees for a pair of locally made, not imported ones, for a pair of locally made boots, is very steep. Coming on to the upper is all leather. Till this part, this is all leather, and this is suede leather. The quality of leather is decent. The thickness is not very thick, unlike the Magnums, but the thickness is okay. Nothing wrong there. However, I'm just worried as to why this white line is showing. On the outside is this perforated pattern, and I'm hoping that it allows the boot to breathe. These boots do breathe and are much better than the other boots that I wear during summers. They do help my feet ventilate a little. Then the upper part is all synthetic. This is all synthetic. Thankfully, it's slightly hard, so it maintains shape. And on the inside is this mesh finish, which again allows for perspiration and softness. On the rear, they have given these loops stitched with synthetic fabric if you want to put your laces inside. And then the zipper has some YKK branding on it. It does work fine, no problems there. Little hard, but it does work. So for my usage, I've been using it with the knot tied ones, and then I've been using the zippers to take the boot on and off. However, there is a problem with the boot. That is that because the length of the boot is slightly long and the laces start from here, so getting your feet inside this part of the boot just by opening the zip is very difficult. So you have to keep this loose so that you can get your feet inside. Otherwise, using the laces, or you'll have to untie the laces. Best is that you untie the laces and then put the boot on, because using just the zip and having already tied the boot to your fitting is very difficult. So that is the problem which I face with this, and I have a similar issue with the Magnums also, but to a lesser degree. But with this, it is quite emphasized because the forefoot of the boot is actually quite long and the laces start from very behind or much behind. If they had started from here, then this problem would not be there. So that is a nitpicking problem, but once you put on the boot, it isn't so difficult to use. The tongue also has this mesh finish inside. I haven't checked the waterproofness of this boot, but then because they have this perforation here, these aren't waterproof boots, they will allow water inside. The color is very nice, it's a green color. They have simple eyelets here for laces and speed lacing at the ankles. You have to keep these slightly loose, otherwise they will also bite into your ankles, so keep them slightly loose. And then above is all hooks. All you have to do is pull through. All these are metallic loops. All you have to do is pull through. It tightens very fast. So getting your feet inside is slightly difficult, but once you got it inside, then this part is easy. Another part is that I don't understand why they have to put this yellow when they're making boots for the military. Then the tags should not be yellow, but somehow they've gone with yellow. On the inside, there is no branding, which is also strange. It almost feels like they created a boot for Magnum to sell under their brand name, but for whatever reason, they are now selling it with their own brand name, that is Mikaasa, because these boots are very similar. I will also do a video on the similarities of this boot with the Magnum.